Hello, my name is Nidhi, and today I'm doing the Racing to Read book tag by the people who made the Reading Rush, and they are Ariel Bissett and Raylene. I don't remember her last name, but they created the Reading Rush. They also created a book tag for it, so I'm doing that today. I already filmed this intro before and I hated it, so I'm doing it again, but hello. So that's what's happening. Enjoy my favorite books and me answering the questions, because they gave a set of questions relating to books you can choose and then talk about, so I did that. Sorry if you can hear the fan in the background. It's super hot and it's blowing against my face, so that's why my hair is all gross. That's why I look like this, because it's really hot and I didn't want to put my hair down. Anyways, let's start with the thing. Also, this little setup right here is like super fake. I put those books there to make the background look more colorful. This is not the amount of books that I'm actually going to be talking about. It's going to be much less, but it's okay. And then this pillow, I like strategically place it on this side. But it's okay. Live your best life. Whatever. Okay. So, let's go with the first question. So the first question is a book that stretches your mind. And it's called the Racing to Read book tag. So like each question has like a thing that you would do in a race associated with it. I don't know, like warm up, start line, sprint, marathon, hurdles. I'll put that down here, but I just won't say them because it's weird. Okay, a book that stretches your mind. So for this one, I chose How Would You Move Mount Fiji by William Poundstone. The book is basically about how the world's largest companies choose the people that get hired. They use riddles and crazy interview settings in order to make sure that the people they're choosing are the smartest of the smartest and the best of the best. So that's what this book is about. There's a lot in here there's a lot of riddles in here, and like an explanation of every single riddle that's talked about in the book. So yeah, that was super interesting, because you're not only reading about the riddles, but you're also trying to solve them, and you're learning about how they came to be and why riddles are used in interview settings anyways. Because if you didn't know, a lot of big companies like Google and Microsoft interview people by asking them riddles and then having them solve it. And the way that they solve that riddle explains, it basically explains what type of thinker they are. So that's what the book is about. So yeah, this made me think a lot. I annotated the crap out of this. I dog-eared so many pages because of that. I don't really do the tabs. I recently started doing it, but I don't do the tabs yet, so I didn't tab this, but I did annotate a lot inside of the book. The next question is, what's a book that you started but never finished? For this one, I chose Life by Lu Yao. I started this a month ago, I think, a couple months ago, and there's like a little San Diego zoo thing in here, but I got to chapter 9 and I never finished it because I don't know why I never finished it. I just wasn't feeling it. I got to the part in the book where this man fell in love with this girl, and then I was reading a bunch of other stuff that like I was more interested in, but I really want to get back to this because it was kind of interesting. But I don't know when. Life is basically about a man who loses his job. He's a teacher and he loses his job due to politics, mainly like family politics and the politics in their little village. So he loses his job and then he ends up falling in love, and that's how far I got, so I don't remember any other part of the book. But yeah, I never finished it. I hope to get to it one day, but I'll probably restart it. But it was really good. I got more than halfway. It's fine, whatever. The next question is a book you read really quickly, and for this, one of my favorite books. Okay, that's really annoying. I got cut off because someone FaceTimed me, but it's okay. Next book I chose is If You Come Softly by Jacqueline Woodson. And this book, it crushed me, it ruined me, it took me to a whole new world and then brought me back and punched me in the face a couple times, because I did not expect to cry at the end of this, and I cried a lot, and I did not stop crying because I don't want to say why, I don't want to ruin it, but the only thing you need to know is it's about two characters who are falling in love, and then also at the same time there's a lot of talking about race and how the characters deal with that and how their differences affect the way they experience life. So there's a lot about that, and then also a story about two people falling in love. And the end, just things happen, but you should read it. Everybody should read this. Everybody needs it. It's also 181 pages long, so it's barely anything. You could read this in one sitting, which I did, and I loved it. So read. The next question is, what's your favorite long book? And for this, I chose Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. But we're going to talk about this book without this cover because the cover is not that pretty. I low-key like it, actually. I know people hate on this cover, but like, isn't it kind of pretty? Like, it has a different vibe to it that not all fantasy books have, which I like, because they don't all look the same. And this one is like, it distinguishes itself from other ones. But also, I don't know. I don't really like that on my shelf. But whatever. Okay, so Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This, I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like everybody already knows what this book is about, so I'm not going to explain it. But favorite book of all time, one of my favorite books of all time, including If You Come Softly. But this book is so good. It's magical, it's beautifully written, it's more than just a fantasy story. There's a lot more elements to it, there's a lot you can learn from it, and just the writing is beautiful. It's poetic, it's everything amazing, and I loved it so much, and I will never get over this book, and I'm too scared to reread it because I don't want my experience to be ruined from the first time I read it. So will I ever reread it? Maybe at a different point in my life, but like not right now. Also, this is the book, so I wasn't into reading for a while, and then like for a couple years I wasn't into reading for most of my high school for most of my high school years I wasn't into reading, and then I read this book and then I got into reading again because it was beautiful and it was amazing. And then Muse of Nightmares is the second book, and that is also beautiful and amazing. So just read this book. Okay. Gotta put the cover back. It's not that ugly. It's kind of pretty. I don't know why people hate on it. The next question is, what's a book that had some ups and downs? And for this, I chose Daisy Jones and the Six. I think everybody can choose Daisy Jones and the Six for this because it's very clear how many ups and downs this book has, because every time things are going good, things go bad the second after. So Daisy Jones and the Six is basically about a band who comes together and rises to fame and then breaks up at the end. It's also about this girl, Daisy Jones, who joins the band, and basically just how the band's created and how band life is and all that. There's a lot of drug use and a bunch of other trigger warnings. I'll put the trigger warnings in the description below because I don't really remember everything, but this book is so good. 5 out of 5 stars. I read it again. Also, another greatest book of all time. There's a lot in this video, but yeah, so good. I learned a lot about group settings and artistic group settings where you have to come up with something that's an art form, stuff like that. But yeah, everybody needs to read this book. It's overhyped. Everybody's already probably read it, but still, just read the book. The next question, a book you were proud to finish. For this one, I chose Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood, Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood. I don't know the order of the words, but I'm pretty sure it's called Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. And wow, this book is big. It's 800 pages, and it took me a month to read, I think. It took me a couple weeks to read. I don't really remember, but like, this book is so good. It's packed with so much. Also, I'm not going to explain this one because I feel like you can find a better synopsis and I don't remember what happens in the book. But Hunt Athalar? Anyways, okay, so this book is amazing. It's so good. I hadn't read any Sarah J. Maas before this. I had read Throne of Glass a long time ago, and then I never continued the series, but this was basically my first Sarah J. Maas book where I actually paid attention, and it was amazing, and I loved it, and everybody should read it because of that. I feel like everybody should read every book I'm suggesting, but yeah, super proud to finish this because it was freaking long and it took me a while, but reading it, like, and finishing it was a good satisfying feeling. So I would read this if you want a good satisfying feeling from reading a book. Also, it's an adult fantasy, not YA, so take from that what you will. The next question is the best book you've read during a readathon. I've only participated in one readathon besides this week's reading rush. I did the stay-at-home reading rush that happened a couple months ago. So in that readathon, I only read one book, and this is the book I read. I read The Giraffe and the Pelly and Me by Roald Dahl. It was good. Obviously, it's Roald Dahl. I loved it. It's about these groups of, it's like this trio, I think. Oh no, this quartet of this boy, this giraffe, this Pelly, and this monkey, and it's about them cleaning a house and what comes of that. So it's really small. This is the only book I read. I don't know, I don't think I do well at readathons because I feel forced to read, but at the same time I still read one book, so there's that. And this happens to be the favorite book I read during a readathon because it was the only one. But yeah, definitely would recommend reading this. The last question, that's also my favorite, is an underrated book you wish got more attention. And for me, that is Cleaning Up New York by Bob Rassenthal. And this book, it's more than just about cleaning, because you're gonna go into this book, you're gonna open up a page and you're gonna be like, what? Like, he's gonna tell me all these things about cleaning, and you're gonna be confused and you're just gonna not like it. But at the same time, it's not just about cleaning. There's a lot more to this book. The cleaning, there's a man, okay, let me just explain the synopsis of the book first because I feel like I'm not explaining it. There's a man in this book who needs $60. So in order to get those $60, he goes and cleans a bunch of people's houses. And as he's cleaning, he gives you little tidbits of how to clean and how to clean better. But then he also meets all the people who are like the house owners that are asking him to clean. He meets those people. And then those people just have so many personal stories and parts of their lives that he sees because he's basically observing them as he cleans. So it's about his experience seeing these people and the way he experiences other people's lives and everything about that. And you'll find that you develop an interest in cleaning because he explains in detail how to clean things, and you're like, ooh, I should try that. Even though I couldn't care less about the cleaning, but then I read this and I was like, wow, like I actually might care about cleaning my bathroom tiles and how to do it, because the detail put into this book is very nice and I loved it. Also, it's tiny. It's 73 pages. You could read this in a day, and this is also like super short book. You could read this in an hour. So this one. Okay, that is the end of my reading rush. That is the end of my racing to read book tag. I hope you enjoyed. I'm not doing so well in the reading rush. I've read about 100 pages in all from 2 books, but I have not finished a book, and it's day 3, and I haven't read anything today. I read a page. I read 1 page. I haven't done well, but it's fine. It's fine. I don't do well on reading rushes, but I don't really care. So whatever. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back with hopefully a reading vlog for the reading rush or a wrap up. We'll see at the end. But yeah, bye.